Legend of Yufei Chapter 44.
Okay, so let's set the scene for you. We've got Marshal Han, a key Song military leader. He's up against this really tough, really cunning enemy general, Wuzhu, from the Jin side. And the Marshals just had this major setback, super frustrating. He thought he'd captured Wuzhu himself, but turns out it was a decoy.
Right, a general named Huangtiandang. Clever move by Wuzhu.
Exactly. And the real Wuzhu slipped away. So Marshal Han is described as says, basically deeply unhappy, depressed.
Understandably so. That's a huge blow. The enemy commander is still out there.
Yeah, he's feeling the weight of it. And it really sets the stage for, well, a critical turning point. So it's right at this low point, Marshal Han's feeling defeated, the pressure's on, that this unexpected voice steps in. And it's not just offering comfort, it's offering a truly revolutionary military strategy. This is where Lady Liang, Marshal Han's wife, really enters the picture. Can you tell us a bit about her? What makes her intervention so impactful right then?
Well, what's fascinating, truly fascinating, is how she just cuts through all that emotion. Marshal Han's frustration, the disappointment about the decoy, she doesn't dwell on it. She's immediately looking forward, thinking analytically. She zeroes right in on Wuzhu's biggest weakness, his supply lines, logistics. She identifies that his army is they're running low on supplies, critically low.
Okay. So she sees the practical problem.
Exactly. And from that single insight, she predicts his next move. But not just a simple retreat. She anticipates something much more complex, a multi-layered escape attempt. That immediate, sharp, strategic thinking right when everyone else is down, that's what's remarkable.
And she wasn't just any general's wife, right? The text gives us some clues about her background.
Oh, absolutely. The description is really evocative. It says, she came from a Fusan background, maybe an entertainment district. Not your typical military spouse origin.
Right, not the usual path to influencing military strategy.
Not at all. But now she's married this respected general. And the imagery, her in military dress, carrying a sword, but still delicate to charming, her brow furrowed with worry for the nation. It tells you she's bringing a unique perspective, maybe a different understanding of people, of strategy, outside the usual military thinking.
So she's deeply invested, not just sitting on the sidelines.
Definitely not. She's engaged. She feels the nation's peril. And her observation about Wuzhu is spot on. He's cunning, yes, but he's cornered. Dwindling supplies mean he has to try and cross the river quickly, retreat. But she also knows the Jin are treacherous, cunning. She figures he won't just run.
She anticipates a trick.
Exactly. She expects a simultaneous attack and river crossing. You use one to distract from the other, split the Song forces, create chaos, then slip the main force away.
Wow. That's not just a guess. That's really understanding your enemy.
It's a deep read. Psychology, tactics, logistics, all combined.
Okay, so she doesn't just say, hey, watch out. She comes up with a full plan, right? A multi-layered strategy. You mentioned it's like an early form of real-time command and control. Break that down for us. What made it so revolutionary?
Yeah, revolutionary is the right word. You have to remember the context. Battlefield communication back then. Slow messengers, maybe some basic drum signals for preset moves. Lady Liang developed something way more sophisticated, a real-time system for a large, spread-out naval fleet. First, she divides the command structure. Marshal Han and their sons, Han Shangge and Han Yanji, they get the roving land troops. Their job is interception on the banks. Classic move, still essential.
Okay, standard procedure so far.
Right. But then Lady Liang herself takes command of the central naval camp, not just for defense, but for overall coordination.
She puts herself at the nerve center.
Precisely. Not just advising, but actively directing the whole naval operation. It's a huge step.
And the core of it was the signaling system. That sounds amazing.
It really was. She sets up this a drum tower. But get this, it's built on top of a tego, a really tall mast in the central naval camp.
Wait, on a ship's mast? How high up?
The text says over 20 zhang. That's over 60 meters, almost 200 feet above the water.
Wow. That's incredible.
An incredible vantage point.
Yeah.
Like an ancient air traffic control tower. The text says she could see the whole area like a map in her palm.
And she climbed up there herself.
Seems like it. The description suggests her agility in doing so, personally taking command from the highest point.
Okay, so from up there, how did she direct everyone?
Two key signals, both dynamic. First, a large white flag. This was directional. Péétoiles. So if the Jin ships moved south, the flag pointed south. If they went north, It pointed north. Simple, clear direction for everyone to see.
Instantly telling her fleet where the enemy was heading.
Second, the drum. This was the action signal. Drum beats, advance, drum stops, hold position, attack or defend based on the rhythm.
So direction from the flag, action from the drum, real-time adjustments.
Exactly. Coordinating dozens, maybe hundreds of boats across a wide, moving battlefield. This kind of agile command, adapting on the fly based on direct observation. It was incredibly advanced for naval warfare then.
And this wasn't just a small force either. How many troops were involved?
8,000 troops, divided into 8 main teams. Then those were broken down further into 64 small patrol boat teams, tiny fast boats.
All waiting for her signal from the mast?
All poised to react instantly. They even had specific gear for the signals, pulleys, and large iron rings for the flags, probably to raise and turn them quickly and make sure they were seen.
This is incredibly detailed planning.
That's serious. They drew up a formal military pledge between husband and wife as commanders.
Like a contract.
More like signing your life away if you fail. It defined responsibilities, consequences. Absolute commitment to following her signals precisely. Failure meant death.
Okay, so the stakes were crystal clear for everyone involved.
It really elevates it. This wasn't just a clever idea scribbled down. It was a full operational system demanding discipline and perfect execution from thousands of soldiers based on signals from one person high above the water. Think about the challenge of getting everyone on the same page, understanding those signals instantly under fire. That Zhenglingzhuang, that pledge, underlined how critical perfect coordination was.
So Lady Liang isn't just a strategist here. She's an innovator, building this, networked force.
Exactly. A force capable of reacting together instantly to whatever Wuzhu tried.
Okay, so while Lady Liang is setting up this amazing system, what's happening with Wuzhu? He's unaware of all this, right? He's just focused on his own problems.
Pretty much. He's still recovering from nearly getting caught, probably still gasping for breath, as the text says, and acutely aware his food supplies are dwindling fast.
He's desperate, needs a plan B.
He does. His advisor suggests a bold move, a surprise river crossing at night. Wuzhu grabs onto it. It's a two-pronged plan. First, General Zhan Mohu takes 30,000 troops and 500 warships to attack the main Song camp at Jiao Mountain. Big diversion, lots of noise.
Draw all the attention over there.
Right. Meanwhile, smaller boats try to sneak across near the southern bank, Longtan. Yu Zhang hoping to reach land and just escape.
The classic feint.
Classic feint. They even said exact times.
Yeah.
Bread food around midnight. Break camp a couple hours later. Yeah. Cross the river just before dawn. Precision timing under darkness.
And they were trying to be quiet about it, too.
Initially, yes. For the sneak crossing part, they planned to use keep whistle, specific to the Hu people, apparently, instead of loud drums or horns. Maintain stealth.
Trying to slip past unnoticed.
And they got lucky with the weather. Helpful tide. South wind was blowing, good for sailing their direction. So Wuzhu probably felt, okay, maybe this desperate gamble will work. Surprise is on our side.
Little does he know, Lady Liang is waiting. Okay, so the stage is set. This is going to be dramatic. Wuzhu thinks he's got the drop on them with his sneaky night move. But Lady Liang's up there, on her mast, watching everything. Ready to spring her trap. The tension must have been incredible.
Oh, absolutely. And her preparations pay off immediately. Song Scout boats detect the Jin movement. It confirms everything she predicted, especially about Wuzhu being treacherous. Cannons are ready, crossbows loaded. But here's a stroke of genius. She orders a mute battle.
A mute battle? What does that mean?
No shouting, no war cries, no noise from the Song side as the enemy approaches. Complete silence.
Why? Wouldn't they want to intimidate them?
It's psychological warfare. It creates unease. Wuzhu expects noise, resistance. The silence makes it seem like maybe the Songer's unprepared, luring him further in. Or maybe something else is wrong. It builds suspense and doubt.
That's clever. So Zhan Mohu's diversion fleet sails up to Jiao Mountain, making a racket.
Yeah, expecting a fight. But the Song camp is dead quiet, eerily silent.
That must have felt weird.
The text says it created suspicion, and doubt in Wuzhu's mind. He starts wondering, what's going on? Why aren't they reacting? That perfect confidence starts to crack. It's like waiting for a jump scare you know is coming. And then bam, the trap springs. The silence is utterly shattered. A single cannon shot signals the attack. Then hair-fair arrows just rain down, and these huge, earth-shattering cannons open up.
Total chaos for the Jin fleet.
Absolute devastation. The surprise isn't Wuzhu's anymore. His fleet is hammered, broken. He's forced to turn north immediately, desperately trying to escape this sudden, overwhelming firepower. That silence followed by thunderous attack, pure shock and awe.
And this is where Lady Liang's real-time command shines, right?
This is it. From her perch, she sees it all. Clear as day, even at night, presumably with moonlight or lanterns. No hesitation. She starts beating the drum. Care, I like thunder. That's the signal to advance.
Go, go, go.
Simultaneously, the signal flags, likely with lanterns attached, now immediately point north, tracking Wuzhu's retreat. And on cue, Marshal Han and their sons Han Shangde from the east, Han Yanzi from the west lead those roving land troops. They converge on the fleeing Jin forces.
A pincer movement.
A perfectly timed, three-sided pincer attack, Han Ji show. Land and naval forces working together, flawlessly coordinated by her signals.
Wow. Just wow. That's incredible execution.
It's more than just a victory. It really is a testament to superior intelligence, that foresight, and this incredibly agile command system, that mute battle intro, brilliant psychology. It made the eventual attack even more shocking. And Lady Liang's ability to manage this whole complex, spread-out fight in real time, adjusting signals based on enemy movement. It's just extraordinary for that era.
She turned Wuzhu's escape plan completely on its head.
Turned it into a total rout. A catastrophe for the Jin.
The description of the losses sounds brutal.
Yeah, the text says countless Jin soldiers were drowned or killed. They just couldn't withstand that coordinated assault from all sides.
So Wuzhu is totally beaten. Where does he retreat to?
He's cornered, defeated. He manages to steer his remaining ships into this waterway called Huangtiandang. Probably thought it was a side channel, an escape route, maybe a place to regroup.
But it wasn't. You mentioned it was another trap.
He basically sailed straight into the final checkmate. It's like the geography itself was part of the plan, although maybe unintentionally at first. It turns out Huangtiandang is a literally dead water. It doesn't connect to anywhere else. It's a dead end.
Oh no. He sailed his whole fleet into a cul-de-sac.
Exactly, a geographical trap. He was desperate, unfamiliar with the local waterways, and made a fatal mistake.
What was Marshal Han's reaction when he realized this?
Pure joy, according to the text. He saw Wuzhu's ship stuck in there and knew it was over. He immediately orders his second son and other generals to block the entrance, the only way in or out. He's quoted saying something like, "Yeah, listen, Sena," which means, basically, just block the river mouth. How can this bandit possibly escape? In a few days, his food will run out, he'll starve, and then we can finally rest easy. Game over.
Total confidence. The trap is complete.
And the aftermath really shows that completeness. Marshal Han returns to camp. Lady Liang greets him. Imagine that reunion. The generals report their successes. Su De captured the Dragon Tiger King, who was actually Wuzhu's son-in-law.
Wow, a major capture.
And another general, Hu Wu, killed a Jin general named He Haidai. So the decoy Huangbi knew and the captured Dragon Tiger King executed. And He Haidai's head was displayed on the mast. A very clear, very grim message of total victory.
And the description of the victory celebration sounds pretty epic, too.
Oh yeah, it paints a picture. Mid-August. The moonlight is as bright as day. The Song Fleet stretches for 10 li, maybe 5 kilometers long, all lit up, shining like daylight. And the sound of the soldiers' cheers, hee, like thunder across the water. A massive, triumphant scene. But here's something really significant, something the source itself points out. It says, "Iya, Chungyan," meaning.
Even today, in the official song history, it's written in a single line. An Shizong greatly defeated Wuzhu at Jinshan. His wife, Lady Liang, personally beat the drum.
Wow, so she actually gets mentioned in the official history, even if briefly.
Exactly. Which is huge, right? It makes you wonder, how often do contributions like hers, especially from women, get minimized or just overlooked in the main narrative? We focus on the name General Han Shizong. But her strategy, her personal command via the drum, was undeniably the key to this whole victory. Marshal Han just absolutely beaming after this really significant victory. You can almost feel the pride, can't you?
Totally, he's euphoric.
And he's especially moved by the courage of his wife, Lady Liang. Apparently she was right there, beating the battle drum, inspiring the troops. Huge part of their success, no doubt.
Absolutely, her role was crucial.
So, in his joy, and maybe to show his appreciation, he decides they need a proper celebration. A night tour of Jinshan to see the moon. Sounds pretty grand.
It does sound grand,
Right.
but that massive joy, as understandable as it is, well, that's exactly where the psychology of victory gets tricky, as the text really shows us.
How so?
Well, he's taking this moment, to celebrate, enjoy the win, which seems fair enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of sets the stage for someone needing to step in. This feeling of security, even if it feels justified, makes him vulnerable.
Vulnerable to overlooking something.
Exactly. Overlooking shifts in the strategic picture. For a commander like Han, who's driven by this deep national desire for vengeance, this joy, ironically, becomes a bit of a blind spot. It might make him underestimate the enemy he hates so much.
Okay. So he's making plans. He wants to go up the pagoda, look out over the Jin camp from Jinshan Mountain. He orders these 2 big feasts, finest wine, everything, for their night out.
Doesn't forget his troops, though.
No, he also sends sheep and wine to his sons and generals, tells them to keep patrolling the river mouth. So he is thinking ahead, but maybe, like you said, not quite far enough.
Right.
He and Lady Liang head up the mountain. The monks greet them. He asks about some Zen master who isn't there and then decides, okay, let's move the feast up higher to Miao Gotai, this platform, for a better view of the moonlit night.
Setting the scene perfectly.
And as they're sipping wine, Han looks out. He sees the Jin camp across the water. Completely dark, no lights, and then he looks at his own fleet, tons of lantern boats, brightly lit.
A stark contrast.
Yeah, and this sight just fills him with this immense satisfaction. He feels like, the famous general Cao Cao reciting poetry after winning at Red Cliffs. It's pure glory for him. He sees that darkness over there as total defeat.
And that interpretation is really key, isn't it? He's savoring the silence from the enemy, reading it as despair, as surrender.
Yeah.
That perception, born from his own victory, well, it's fertile ground for misjudgment.
Lack of lights means shattered foe, not necessarily a cunning one lying low.
Precisely. He wants to believe they're finished.
But then right there next to him, while he's soaking all this in, the text shows Lady Liang. And she's completely different. She's frowning and sighing, clearly not sharing the mood. And she drops this really profound warning. She says, "General, you must not forget the great enemy because of a temporary small victory." Bam.
Wow. Cutting right through the celebration.
Totally. And she's sharp about Wuzhu, too. She calls him wise and brave, Zhang Zhangquan. This guy isn't just any opponent. He demands respect, even in defeat.
She understands his character.
Yes. She stresses the danger, saying he could become a future problem who Han if they don't capture him now. She's thinking long term. Potential revenge, a drawn-out conflict between North and South, even the shame of letting the Emperor down if Han just focuses on pleasure and lets morale slip.
That's incredible foresight.
Yes.
Lady Liang's wisdom here, it goes way beyond just being cautious. It's like strategic empathy. She seems to understand what Wuzhu's wise and brave nature, maybe even better than her own husband does at that moment.
Seeing the enemy, not just the victory.
Exactly. And it makes you ask, why is it so hard sometimes, even for smart leaders, to really hear that kind of critical advice when they're riding high on success?
Good question.
She's looking at the bigger picture, the long game. Wuzhu isn't the type to just vanish after one loss. She gets the political side, the military consequences down the road if he gets away. Her insight is just this powerful reminder about, staying vigilant, thinking holistically, even when everything looks rosy.
She sees the whole war, not just this one battle.
Right. The enduring struggle.
So how does Marshal Han take this? The text says he's even more respectful of her wisdom, calls her view complete wangquan. He acknowledges it.
Okay, so he listens.
He listens, yeah, but, and this is crucial, he still totally believes he's got the immediate situation locked down. He's convinced Wuzhu is trapped, running out of supplies, and that he, Marshal Han, will personally capture him alive.
So respect, but not quite enough doubt to change his core assumption.
Exactly. He thinks the game's basically won. It's like, he feels he's already holding the trophy. Mic drop, time for a victory dance.
Which he actually does, right?
He does. In this really dramatic display of his own resolve, he grabs a big cup, downs several drinks, draws his sword, and just starts dancing.
Wow.
And while dancing, he recites the famous poem Manjing Hung, "The river runs red." It's intense. Talks about the huge Yangtze River autumn ambition, swords reaching the sky, bows hanging with the sun.
That poem is iconic. It carries so much weight.
Right. He talks about wanting to rearrange the cosmos, laments these ancient hatreds, cries for the past, and basically questions fate itself. It's quite a performance.
And that recitation, it's not just him letting off steam, is it? It connects to something much bigger.
How so?
Well, it taps right into the deep historical grievances of the whole Song dynasty against the Jin. Later, Han explicitly mentions wanting revenge for our two emperors.
Ah, referring to the captured emperors Huzong and Qinzong, the Jinkang incident.
Exactly, that huge national humiliation that's been hanging over the song. So the poem, in that moment, it highlights the incredibly high stakes. It's about Marshal Han's personal commitment, yes, but also about national justice, vengeance for his homeland.
It's a declaration, war for honor, for fixing the past.
Precisely. So his confidence, maybe even overconfidence, it's rooted in this really deep personal and national mission.
Okay, so while Han is up there reciting poetry, let's shift perspective. What's happening with the Jin forces?
Well, things are looking pretty grim for Wuzhu. After that crushing defeat, he's in a terrible spot. He's got maybe 20,000 men and 400 battleships left.
Not much compared to Han's fleet.
Not at all. And they retreat into this place called Huangtiandang. Problem is, Wuzhu has no clue about the local geography. He sends scouts out, they grab a couple of local fishermen.
And the fishermen tell him.
They tell him the terrifying truth. Huangtiandang, yeah, the river's wide inside, but it's a dead-end harbor, BTLC gang. Only one way in, one way out.
Oh, no. And Han's forces are?
Blocking that single exit. Wuzhu is completely trapped, no other way out, and food supplies are running low, fast. It's gone from a defeat to an absolute trap.
That's a nightmare scenario.
It really is,
Yeah.
and it highlights this profound strategic disadvantage. You know, even a commander described as wise and brave, like Wuzhu, can just completely fall victim to a massive error in reconnaissance, a lack of local knowledge.
Turns a retreat into a siege.
Instantly. And imagine the psychological pressure. You're in a dead end, nowhere to go, supplies vanishing, and your army's already demoralized from a big loss. It just shows how vital good intelligence, especially geographic intel, is in war.
So Wuzhu's trapped. What does he do? He can't just sit there.
His first move, on the advice of his advisor, Hamichi, is diplomacy. A desperate attempt. He sends a messenger to Marshal Han.
Offering what?
Basically turns for peace. Says he's willing to seek peace, never to invade again. And as a sweetener, he offers 300 famous horses for safe passage out.
300 horses. Trying to buy his way out of a dead end.
Yeah.
That sounds desperate. Does Han see it that way? Or does he worry it's a trick?
Oh, Han sees it as pure desperation. The text says he laughs heartily. He views the offer as an insult, actually. A sign of Wuzhu's total weakness, not some cunning ploy.
So his response probably isn't going to be, let's talk.
Not even close. His reply is brutal. It's pure psychological warfare. He orders the poor messenger's ears and nose cut off before sending him back to Wuzhu.
Wow. That's graphic and sends a very clear message.
Absolutely. It signals total resolve, zero willingness to compromise. Han is reinforcing his commitment to capturing Wuzhu, just like Lady Lang warned him he needed to. It basically says negotiations are over before they even start.
Okay, so diplomacy is out. What's plan C for Wuzhu after his messenger comes back like that?
Well, plan C is brute force. He tries to fight his way out, Bin Sishachu, gathers his remaining troops, fueled by sheer desperation now.
But Han must have expected this.
Totally prepared. Han had already ordered his generals to use cannons and hard crossbows to paw Yingyu from a distance, and critically, he forbade close combat. Don't engage directly.
Smart tactics. Keep them at arm's length.
Incredibly effective. Wuzhu's forces charge, but they're just hammered by ranged fire and repelled without ever really closing the distance. They can't break through. Han doesn't risk his own men unnecessarily.
So Wuzhu's attempts are just failing one after another. Military force, money, now brute strength.
Yeah, and this rapid shifting of tactics really underscores his escalating desperation, doesn't it? Han's strategy, meanwhile, using distance and firepower, shows brilliant tactical control. He knows time and geography are his allies here.
Okay, so the breakout fails. What now? Surely Wuzhu's running out of options.
He tries talking again. But this time, he requests a face-to-face meeting, a direct parley between the commanders.
Han agrees to this.
Yes, and the scene is set up very dramatically. Both fleets arrange themselves for this confrontation, a real visual display of power on both sides.
And what does Wuzhu say this time? No more offers of horses, I assume.
No, this time it's pure pleading. In a really humbling gesture, Wuzhu actually kneels on his deck, takes off his hat, and makes this appeal. He claims Jin and Song are actually one family, Beiyijia.
Seriously? After invading?
Right. He spins this tale that he only came south to fight some southern rebels, Jian Zaiku, and pledges eternal peace from now on. It's almost theatrical, trying to use words and humility where weapons and gold failed.
Painting himself as misunderstood, not the aggressor.
Exactly, a performance of contrition.
But Han's not buying it, is he?
Not for a second. He's completely unmoved by Wuzhu's performance. Han just cuts right to the chase. He firmly lays out the real issues, the deep historical grievances. He demands the return of our two emperors, lower D.
Captured emperors again?
Yes, and the return of Bianjing, the former Song capital. For Han, this isn't about a quick truce based on some flimsy promise. It's about justice, national honor.
He's basically saying, give back what you stole, fix the ultimate wrong, then maybe we can talk.
Precisely. It's a total refusal to settle for anything less. It shows that real peace, for Han, can't be built on lies or ignoring the past. This parley just throws the huge gap between their goals into sharp relief. Any real negotiation is impossible.
Han's stance really locks things down, echoes Lady Liang's warning again, don't let him off the hook.
Absolutely. His resolve is solid.
So Wuzhu's plea fails. He has to retreat back into Huangtiandang again, right?
Yes, and he's utterly despondent now. Supplies are critically low. No reinforcements are coming. He must feel completely doomed.
What can they even do?
His advisor, Hami Chi, maybe seeing no other way out, suggests one last, desperate measure. Post a huge bounty. Offer 1,000 gold to anyone who can figure out how to get them out of this crisis.
1,000 gold. A fortune. Desperate times.
And then, just when all hope seems lost, someone steps forward. From the most unexpected quarter, a shukai, a scholar arrives.
A scholar. Not a general, not an engineer, but a scholar.
Exactly. Wuzhu is instantly overjoyed. He promises the scholar not just the 1,000 gold, but shared riches and honor if he can actually get them out.
High stakes for the scholar, too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the scholar. He's apparently incredibly confident. He declares that escaping Huangtiandang is no difficult matter. Shu.
No difficult matter. Seriously. After everything Wuzhu tried.
That's what he says, leaving us right there on this massive cliffhanger. What could this scholar possibly know?
Wow.